The step that we are going to do next is to do the top stitching on the hem of the pocket. So I'm going to go ahead and check to make sure that my machine is threaded correctly. Just stitch about an inch or so, needle up, press your foot up, pull off to the left. And it looks pretty good from both sides, so we are ready to go. Now, sometimes people will change the length of their straight stitching whenever they are doing top stitching. They might make it slightly longer. But to avoid confusion, we're just going to use the standard 2.5 stitch length. So if you notice, what I have done is I have lined up my drawn line with the little slit that is on our foot. Okay, and we're going to drop that down, and we're going to follow along there. That means our top stitching is actually going to be about a needle width away from there, but that's okay. It's going to be close enough. And I came in maybe about 1/4 of an inch from the end. I don't want to start on the very end. I'm going to drop my needle down, make sure it's in the right spot. Hold on to my thread so I don't get a thread blob. A couple of stitches forward, and then I'm going to stitch all the way back to the edge of the pocket. And I often will go 1 stitch off. I don't want to go more than 1 stitch off because I'll get a little bird's nest there, but if I do 1 stitch off, then I know I've got it all the way to the end. All right, so now I'm coming forward, do a couple forward stitches, then let go of your thread. And as we come to these pins, we want to take them out. I'm going slow because so I had a little problem there, and I didn't panic. What happened was my needle apparently bent for some reason, and I'm not sure why. I checked several things. One, I checked to make sure that my bobbin wasn't running out. Sometimes it'll happen then. I checked to make sure that I didn't have anything extra underneath my fabric. And I stopped and I replaced my needle. I rethreaded the machine. And so we're going to just try again. I want you to understand, and I'm leaving it in the video because I want you to understand that when something like that happens, don't panic. Just stop. Don't keep sewing, for goodness sakes. Just stop and let somebody know. If you know how on your own to change a needle, then go ahead and do that if it's bent. Also, again, check your bobbin, rethread your machine. There are lots of things that can suddenly happen that you want to make sure that you take care of those things. So we're going to try again. I took out the little bit that I had a problem with, and we're going to start all over again. Here we go. Again, a little bit in from the end. I'm going to stitch a couple forward and then a couple backwards to make sure that I catch that edge. Again, because we don't want to get our fabric caught down in the hole, I'm going to hold on to my threads till I get past that. And I think it's a little thicker right here where that hem is, so I'm going to just go slower till I get past that. All right, I think I'm past the danger point, and now I'm just going to stitch along here. And remember, I've been stitching for a long time, so you stitch the speed that will make it comfortable for you. And I'm taking my pins out as I'm going, and I'm just keeping my eye on where this line is. It's a little hard because this fabric's got a lot of white in it. I could have probably used a different color of chalk, but I have a pretty good idea of where it needs to be. So, see, it's having a little trouble going through that thicker part. It does not like it at all. So I'm giving it a little bit of help with the hand wheel, and I think we can get it through the end. And then I'm going to back stitch. Just a couple of stitches. Just did not like that thick part. Okay, needle up, press your foot up, and I'm going to clip the stitches or clip the threads with the cutter on the side, but then I'm going to come back in and cut all of these. And I think what the problem was is that, you know, we've got this doubled up here a bunch of different times right at the very edge, and it didn't really like that. So I think that's what the issue was. So as I look at it now, it's back stitched on both edges. It is stitch straight parallel to the top edge, and with just a little bit of water and a little bit of rubbing, that chalk will come off of the front and you'll never know that it was there. So at this point, my pocket is all ready to be attached to my shorts or pants.